What is something that happens at casinos that is hidden from the public? Robberies, murders. The father of a friend of mine was robbed, stabbed and killed in the parkade of a local casino in the late 90s, after he won big. It never made the news, and a friend of mine who worked at the same casino 5 years later swore I was making it up because she had never heard anything about it. After talking to a few security guys, she finally had someone give her an off-the-record, wink-nod confirmation that it did happen, but they went the extra mile to keep the story buried. When I was in college, I read Fools Die by Mario Puzo. It's about the casino industry and specifically about the security at casinos. My friend's uncle was the head of security at a casino and we went to meet him at his job. I was really excited to actually see what I had read about. He was nice enough to meet with us, but one of the first things he said was, "Of course I can't show you any of the security because that's confidential." Sucked. Not sure about Western casinos, but this is for Asian casinos. Asians generally subscribe to the supernatural and definitely the superstitions that go along with gambling. Casino owners tend to hire ghost babies, toyols or kumantongs, aborted baby spirits, to kind of curse players into losing. Superstitious players will bring candies, toss them under tables so the ghost babies leave them alone because of the candy bribe and let them win. A couple are not hidden, but not obvious to the average casino goer. Some casinos add scents to the air. They do not pump in extra oxygen in as some people believe. They also keep the temperatures on the cool side to keep people from getting sleepy. No clocks on the walls and, in general, no windows with views to the outside. All of the backlogging and money counting in the cash rooms. Money can get very heavy in bundled amounts. Anytime jackpots would hit over a certain amount, we would have to have 3 verifications on the legitimacy of the jackpot. Also, we don't earn our paycheck off you losing. Had a friend that worked one of the party pools at a Vegas casino similar to the former rehab at Hard Rock. He said that an average of 12 people die a year, and if no one notices, they are directed to just leave the person there, i.e. if they are on a float or a lounge chair. Not sure about all casinos, but security banging the restaurant girls was pretty common where I worked. Manager of the restaurant got fired for having sex in the back on the prep table. Apparently there are lots of cameras in casinos. Who knew? If you're on a roll and someone shows up to make a really weird bet that fucks up the flow of your winning, it's probably someone on the casino's payroll that's been sent over to fuck you over so that the casino doesn't have to pay you out. Suicides. Properties go to great lengths to hide these events from the public, given how bad for business it is. But it happens, and quickly taken care of. It's a very open but grim secret amongst casino workers apparently. My aunt worked at one in Palm Springs, and she said they basically had a room full of extra stools. Old people were sure they were about to hit, and they just piss and shit themselves instead of giving up their machine. 90 of casinos have private areas for the high rollers, politicians, gangsters, and other VIPs. I was able to deal cards at one of those events. I was literally tipped $500 by some guy for keeping the water liquid. When the MGM Grand opened in Las Vegas, you walked through a giant lion's mouth to get to the front door. Many Asian gamblers saw it as a sign of bad luck, so they wouldn't go in. Now it's a smaller statue. The ATMs don't make it well known that someone's account is empty. Their bartenders also have a magic way of making bills disappear if you've spent a long time at one of their machines. The casinos hire researchers to develop scents that not only promote gambling, they make you more likely to lose. Then they pump that SHT into the ventilation system, as was said suicides, but also all manner of deaths. Mostly of natural causes. Many hotels are bigger than most small cities and there are thousands of people there. Not sure about the Nevada casinos, but at Indian casinos, the majority of the workers are heavy gamblers, and there is a lot of sex going on amongst the workers. Peeing and pooping. Very few casinos allow these activities in public. Source: am no longer allowed within 100 feet of the fountains at Caesars. A bunch of years ago, the matriarch of a family jumped overboard because she spent the family's vacation cash in the casino on our cruise ship. It's like a secret game of musical chairs, except instead of music, it's the shuffle of cards, and the chairs are the high roller tables. All the seats they have to replace because of the shockingly high number of PPL that evacuate their bladders and bowels in them. People peeing pooping in their chairs while they play slots and not leaving them until they are done playing dot. The money being funneled to a grocery store in Kansas City, which is as close as the bosses could get. The weekly changing of the shrimp. Saw a man drop dead at a slot machine once. No one around him stopped their play. The office in the basement where you can sign over your house for gambling money.